this is the whole team. We're doing Zori Age of Shattering, and yeah, Red has a really serious microphone.
Did I do something?
No, I was just
Okay,
reading.
okay.
I was just reading on our Discord, and yes, you have a podcaster microphone. So we don't know what he does in his
In his spare
private
time.
life, so we have no idea why he's got a podcaster microphone. But nah, that's his issue alone.
Okay.
So guys, we make a slow run through the game. I don't know.
Yeah, and we can talk about a bit about the systems, a bit about lore and the story behind it.
Gabi, you said this time around because last time I was doing the stream and it wasn't really exceptional. This time around, Gabi, you are recording this.
I started the recording a while ago, 1 minute and 30
Perfect,
seconds ago. Forgot to start
perfect.
it earlier, but from now on we have recording.
So there's gonna be a recording of all this. Let's go. Let's go through the. Uh, let's do it. Let's do it like
A first
content.
run.
Most content creators do it on Twitch. Go through the settings a little, but there it's not everything in there yet. But
Okay, so you mean this?
I mean the settings. There's a
Yeah,
settings button.
Okay,
But
so
I'm watching what we're casting on the Steam page, and that's got quite a bit of delay. I would
okay,
say
okay. So I'm
maybe
the only
20
one that
seconds.
actually sees this in real
Yes, yes,
time. So
you're the only
basically,
one who sees this in real
I
time,
have
exactly.
to
So
wait a little bit.
yeah.
Um,
For now, we got audio and video settings. We know it's highly requested and it's very high on our list to have also key bindings. Of course, they're gonna be in the game, but everything has to be in the game. Not every time it's not always we get the time to put everything in like we want to. So
well, for the moment, they're just basic settings. I mean, even for graphics quality, you just have like fantastic, beautiful, good. So they're just one level of, let's say, detail that you can set. But later, for the full release, we will have comp- um, settings for, let's say, each individual graphic setting of the game, like for shadows, for lighting, and everything, and you will be able to set them properly like in any other game. And of course, control, like you said, and I don't know what else. Probably.
let's talk now about this. We have a question that's been very high on everyone's list, mostly because of the Guardian that we fixed. That was in a previous version. That was a really difficult fight. It was doable, but I admit it was a difficult fight. So because of that, a lot of people asked us about the uh, uh, difficulty settings and whether there are gonna be difficulty settings in the game.
There will be,
Uh,
for sure.
we plan to do that, but and expect that our the the level that we will design the game for it's gonna be a little bit on the harder part, but of course there will be difficulty settings that allow it to be easier, but the experience and especially Stefan is designing for.
Yeah, I
It,
wouldn't exactly say harder, but to be honest, I want the player to be present. It's going to be challenging, and if you as a player you will be present in the game and in the combat that you are playing, you should be just fine. But if you are expecting to just hit the monsters or the enemies with any spell at your disposal, you might lose. This is what I mean to be present.
you,
I want people to
you,
be engaged.
a tactical fight. You. The intention is for people to think about what they're doing and don't just cast or use any spell, any abilities, anything they happen to.
Something very important to add here, and this is a discussion that we internally had a few times. We are not really trying to be other games. We were compared a lot with Divinity Original Sin. We love that game, but we are not trying to be that game, especially from a combat point of view. Our combat is a bit faster than Divinity Original Sin.
To consider it a baseline because we're taking D&D into account, of course, but we don't want to be a representation of the D&D rules.
Yeah,
We don't plan to put D&D rules into video game gameplay. That's not the aim of the game. We're trying to find a little bit of a middle ground with the combat for Zoria, and that is keep it tactical and give the player a lot of things to do and a lot of options to try, but at the same time keep the pace of the combat still a little bit faster than in traditional turn-based combat. So because let's be honest, there are a lot of interesting fights in a game, and there are a lot of I don't know filler fights,
yeah.
and we don't want them to be to take just as much time and have to consider every step you take in a fight against two, three easier mobs, and everything we did, including improving the game since the first version of the demo, has been towards making this easier and making the gameplay easier and uh, keeping the flow of the combat.
And a
Okay,
bit more accessible, basically.
yeah, and a bit more accessible. Okay, now let's jump into the game because we already went into the talking about combat, and since we've been talking about combat, we might just as well take a look at it while we're talking about it.
Yeah, I'll add some stuff while we are seeing the stream from Gabi with the gameplay.
Okay.
And I think Gabi, it's a great choice for today for the streaming, especially because he's the one that's been playing the game the least in a surprising way, but it's true because well, he's working on the systems and he's testing the systems, and as long as the systems work, he's more than happy to jump on
I
into
mean,
another system
while
and.
developing, I spend like approximately 95% of my time in a single scene where I test everything. And if it works there, I kind of expect to work for those, let's say, behaviors to work anywhere in the game.
So
Uh,
it's really fun for us every time we do a little bit of an upgrade to a scene or to the whole demo, and we're absolutely convinced that everybody knows about it until Gabi comes and he's like, "What? When did this show up in the game?" Well,
should we
of
let
course, we never
the
tell him about that.
intro
Yep.
play? or do we skip it?
I don't think we can skip the intro.
Okay, I'm gonna skip the intro.
There's nothing really interesting there. It's just meant to give an idea on what's coming. But
Okay, so basically we have a few tutorial pages. We are not completely happy about the way the tutorial unfolds right now in the demo. I think the only thing, or one of the things that really need to be explained better, is the combat, because moving around and interacting with object, it's the normal behavior like any other RPG out there. It's nothing anything new, or we didn't reinvent the wheel or in any way. Yeah, so basically this is the character sheet with the skill tree. Just a bit, just a little, stay on the skill tree,
Yes.
Gabi, just
Okay,
a second.
skill, okay.
Skill tree, yeah. The skill tree right now in the demo, this is not the final version that will be in the full release game. The full release game, it's way better, but we needed.
I think Gabi has. I think Gabi has a version of what's coming.
Yeah, if you can show that, Gabi. Yeah. So right now in the demo you have
Okay.
12.
Let me. So this one.
Yeah. And I will just skim through it just a little bit. Everything is unlockable in the skill tree, but you will have a limited number of skill points that you can assign, and you cannot have all the skills. So you'll need to choose. For example, this is the skill tree for your main character, Andar. You can make him a damage dealer, a buffer, or a full-fledged healer. It is up to you how you will want to play. And of course, you can mix and match the spells in order to be a bit of damage dealer, a bit of healer, and so on and so on. So you will have this freedom. But as I said, right now the demo is not really representative for what's to come. So we need to invest
In terms of skills and skill system.
Yeah. But I promise you guys, one thing that I am aiming with the spells is to have interesting spells. And when I mean interesting, I don't mean like overpowered spells. I mean spells that could let you as a player to make your own strategy. For example, I'll just give you like two examples. The wizard will have a spell that it's called the ice wall, and you can actually block the path for the enemies and stuff like that.
Keeping with our combat system that takes line of sight into account. It's a very big part of the combat, line of sight. This can have very interesting can lead to very interesting strategies and well, interesting combat in the end.
Okay, so I will continue playing the game.
Yeah. Go on, Gabi.
I'm also answering any questions directly on or anything else that comes up directly on Discord. So that's why I look like I'm watching a tennis game, switching from the main screen to the second screen, but I'm around, just waiting for questions or anything. And Gabi, I think we can go a little bit faster through dialogue.
Okay, no.
It should be not very fast as much as if anyone wants to take a closer look. Of course, I would recommend they download the demo and have a look at it. But if they just want to take a closer look on um, the video, uh, they can pause and check it out. Good. Now that's the combat. That's the combat tutorial. We're still looking at ways to make the tutorial better. Not really
Yeah,
happy I'm not really happy with it at this point, but and I'm sure there are a lot of things missing from the tutorial. No, 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 not there. Good. Uh, but
he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
yeah, at least I'm 100% sure Gabi is not aware of all the positions where those things hit. So he's got the highest chance of all of us to taking damage from those things, but it's funny, so I'm gonna let that happen. And yeah, a lot of misses, but well, it's an intended behavior because the followers that you find in this area are so higher level than the enemies, because we wanted the players to experience character at a high level to get an idea of how the game would play out later on, uh, because well, in an RPG that's an issue. You start with low level characters and you don't really get an idea of how the game is gonna play out later, and if the spells and abilities are gonna be interesting, are gonna complement each other and stuff like that. So we wanted these characters to be higher level to give an idea on how the game looks and feels, and uh, we didn't want these fights to be hard. So I think
Yeah,
we
the purpose
achieved.
was for the every user to finish the demo to get a glimpse of what's coming, basically. Gabi, you can tell us a bit more about the formation system, because this was a feature that was very requested from the players.
And we recently introduced it, so and I know Gabi had a little bit of trouble with it.
Yeah,
Of course, but let me just finish this fight. And
See, this is where lack of experience in the um, in the fights
no, it's not about that.
shows, because
I was thinking about something else and made the wrong move. But other than that, it's fine. I should be able to beat the game. At least I hope so.
yeah, that would be a good idea.
So let's say we have party formation. There are 4 right now. There are 4 already set up formation, and you can just swap, let's say, a certain follower from a slot to another slot, and he will follow that position, as you can see right now. But also, so these are the 4 one that we have already set, and there are 3 custom ones that can be basically configured as you like in this area. So you just have to place a certain follower in a position. Maybe you want something like this. I don't know why would you want that, but you can do that, and they will just use that custom formation. Standard
On that
formation are
note,
not right now they are mostly set to be. We didn't discuss them to be, if they will remain like this, but
Probably on the standard formation. Maybe we'll have a more detailed conversation even on our Discord and see what the for base starting formation people would like them to be. Because anyway, you got the three custom formations, but still, maybe we will be doing this and see if people would rather have different starting formation, default formations. And Senya, to answer, no, Andar is fixed, but with the amount of space in the formation system, you can set up the followers around him. But he's fixed, and the Warfield scenario, current scenario. Actually, this is the start. This is the start of the story. This is our hero, let's say so, having to leave Dagforum because it's being overrun by the Assyrians. So it's part of the story, and we also use it a little bit as we use it a little bit as a tutorial area and to give people a little idea of how the game looks and feels. But other than that, it is part of the game. It's not only a tutorial. The story part is very important because all of these followers that you see here, you will encounter later on. Will get separated from part of. What were you trying to do? Not ranged. What were you trying to do? He's not ranged.
It's fine. It's fine.
let me play the game as I like.
Yeah, exactly, Gabi. Yes, I agree with him. This is one of our main, I don't know, objectives. Uh, we will try to give you the tools, especially combat-wise, and you will play as you like. But of course, with a small addendum, sort of speak, stamina is very important.
At this point, and actually, in about every RPG I know,
Yeah,
starting stamina and health are very very important. We had a lot of trouble with one of the final fights in the game because it was the Guardian fight. It was quite considerably harder than the other fights. So if people did not set up their stamina properly, they if they did not put any points and into stamina, and range characters were very low on health, they could be one shot. But we tweaked the fight a little because we didn't want everyone to think it was impossible to get past it. But it's gonna be important. um, the demo, because you said, Stefan, that you wanted we want people to play as they want. The demo, it's very linear. It's intended,
yeah,
uh, but the game will not be the final game will not be that linear. It will be based on certain areas that you can explore, and you can explore in whatever way you want. There's no correct path to do this. So
Yes.
I wouldn't call it open world because it's not that big, but certainly the exploration will be open and free. And okay, now we're watching Gabi trying not to get killed by the game he
Come on.
made.
We did
It's
that.
fine.
I never said that loudly.
And even if I might lose the game, I can always just bring out the console and start cheating.
Are you certain that's a good thing to discuss right now? The console cheats? I mean, okay, but are you sure? The plan for the stream, because we didn't talk about this. The plan for the stream is to go make a pass through the whole game, see what questions show up, answer them as Gabi plays through. Yeah, you completed both of the quests, but first of all, I would look where I'm going, and second, I would take a look at the graveyard. I don't know what to do with my hands most of the time, because if I'm not playing, it's very weird to be part of the stream, but not playing. This fight, I have the feeling could have been a bit more interesting if we played with the stats a little bit more
I
of
think we
the
should give the
enemies.
skeletons a little bit more HP.
Yeah.
They're way too easy to kill right
Okay.
now.
Stop right there, Gabi. No, too late. Uh,
Next time.
that's the problem with the delay. You know, I say stop right there, and you just killed everything. And
But what did you want to say?
he wasn't using the system. He was trying to hit one enemy or another, but hovering the mouse over the character that's currently that's turn it is currently shows all the enemies that you can hit and that you are in range of. Yeah, he's doing it right now for the ranger. He was previously trying with the wizard to find a character that he could hit. That's part of the UI for.
Nice.
I was trying to under. Oh, nice. A little bit more creative. I would just go at them and hit them with. I would just try and kill them before they kill me. But so actually, the whole discussion with the line of sight not working between two followers. You just use the ranger to shoot at the necromancer between those two guys. So
I didn't know we had that issue. It never happened to me.
Was there any issue?
Yeah, I don't remember being an issue.
At some point there was an issue reported, but I don't think it's.
Okay, maybe it was like a very weird case, or I don't know, an edge case.
I don't know why, but everybody, at least in this demo, everybody is resting in the graveyard.
I mean, it's the perfect place to rest.
Yeah, have a picnic. Wonderful. Look, it's night. It's foggy. It's raining,
I mean,
and we're in the graveyard
you
full of
can
things that come out of the ground. So perfect spot for a picnic.
you can just think
You
that
sure about that?
maybe enemies wouldn't come there. So
Yeah, especially undead.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why? Why would you think undead will be in a graveyard when necromancers have been around? Sure. I mean, why? No, I'm not having this conversation.
he's dead.
Okay, let's. I think we're done with this place. And sure, these restoration shrines are going to be on a timer. You're not gonna be able to use them every time you want, but they're gonna be dependent on in-game
Gabi,
time.
And now something.
steal their gear.
We're already doing that.
Yeah.
He was already stealing their gear. I cannot believe this.
Again, this is something that we are not against. Definitely, we are not against.
any 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 kind of that's the beauty of RPGs. Any kind of creative use a player has, a player finds uh, of the game, they're more than welcome to play that way. That's the fun part. You're not stuck to a path. Sure, there is a main quest, but I think all of us playing RPGs, at least for one game, said, I'm not gonna do the main quest, and did everything else, and then ended up in the first quest for the main quest line with 40 levels above what was supposed to happen, something like that. I mean, that's what makes this game fun, that you can do basically whatever you want. Yes, we have to fix this issue and update the prologue so that the prologue is has the same on the same version. We didn't want to do that because of the save games, because we did a lot of improvements, and now we're at the point where we can't really upgrade the old saves from the prologue if we update to this version. So people still playing the prologue might actually will not might will lose their progress, and it's not a long prologue, but still we were considering going back and forth whether to do this. For now, we just said we're gonna leave the demo on the new version and leave the prologue on the old version, so people that still have their saves will not lose them. I don't think they will, Senya. I don't think they will have their clothes again, because everything is saved in a database. So right now they're just leaving, and but they still remain in the database. So the next time you encounter them, they're gonna be, unless we play
Check
with
their
the
gear.
system, they're gonna be in
These
the
days,
same
people
state
will take whatever help they can get.
you left them. We don't have a visual representation of gear at this point, and I'm not really sure we are going to do this. Mostly because it's a monumental task, and the team being as small as it is, it's gonna take a lot of time. Maybe we're gonna find some middle ground with a couple of levels of representation for the gear, but not full representation for every gear item you equip them with.
And in order to complement what Neres said, at the moment we can't change the gear, but we are working on changing the weapons.
Yes, yes, yes. As Teki commented, yes, the weapons are going to be visually represented, but the gear, not, or not at least, definitely not in a piece by piece option.
Like Neles said, we have some ideas on how to make, for example, when a character reaches level 10, we can change his model, especially for the gear itself. But we will need to see how we can do that. But at the moment, we don't have. I'm gonna just say it outright. We are a small team, and we don't have the budget to do what other big teams are doing with
And
hundreds of 3D models for armors.
and in the end, we just don't have the time. I mean, simply considering that
I mean,
we would be
you can say
doing
that
that.
we have the time, but we want to launch the game.
Yeah, sometimes in the 2020s, not in the 2030s. That would be a good idea to do. So
We don't want to be in development for 7 years.
Teki, do you mean like painting your gear and placing some visual decals on it?
I think something like that we could probably add.
Yeah, but it's going to be a bit tricky. Yeah. Okay, it's going to be a bit tricky with the painting because of the how the models are being done right now in the game.
And for example, we can set a special area where you can paint and just let the user select the painting, but the area would be the same. The location, I mean, where you can add the
this
decal.
this actually, it's a
I'm going
actually
to
very
say something.
good idea.
I'm going to say something that I know when next time I will meet Neles, he will strangle me. Um, in one of the old game design documents that I wrote for the game,
I'm
uh,
I'm already waiting for what's coming.
uh, there was a line of text there that I wrote, and it stated something along the following lines. You can actually add like trophies on your shoulder pads, on your belt, on your helmet, and stuff like that. I don't know if any of you guys played the Warhammer Online. They had the same system with trophies, and you can hang around your belt like a massive orc head, or you can have spikes with skulls on your shoulder pads. Maybe we can do something like that as well, and we could have like a configurator. Yeah, and
That's a definite yes.
yeah, that's a definite yes. Okay,
Okay, we're gonna the process from this point on is gonna be the following. Um, Stefan, you are gonna explain this directly to Gabi, and I'm not gonna be online when he says, when he thinks how many hours it's gonna take to do that.
well, it's gonna use the same system that we are going to use for changing the weapons.
I don't know if you're aware, but he's not even answering at this point. He's trying to beat those
I
guys.
thought
So
about that, but I'm not really sure. I mean, we can do first. We need to actually be able to see, I think, the player in the character view. I mean, to have the 3D rendering of the player. To be able to
yes,
see
yes.
those
At least
decoration that you
to
meant.
see and at least to see the weapons when you get the system to exchanging weapons.
Probably. So
But for the moment, the main problem would be that we have our backlog is insane.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's pretty big.
We still haven't introduced, and this is a task because we're still, I'm guessing, 1.5 hours into playing, judging by what was I trying to do? Okay, judging by the speed that is playing. And I would have a task for you, Stefan, because you're handling you have the master files, and I don't feel like doing any downloads in the state we are right now streaming, and put the mock-up screens for and we're gonna have a short discussion, a preview, because I have not written anything, but we're gonna have a preview on the and that's a momentary decision, so none of us were really prepared for this, but I think it would be an awesome idea to do this. Have a preview on the systems that we're working on right now, and what's coming next. So
I just found a bug.
yes, you did, because we didn't, and that would behave like.
Um, if you press really fast on a certain screen, for example, after getting a compendium file from there, it was around Anya that gave you a quest. I opened right away the compendium, and basically at the exact next moment the dialogue appeared on the screen, and I exit the compendium, and it also exited the dialogue.
Ah, okay.
I'm gonna
Basically,
steal that
if you're
key.
really fast, you can probably skip a dialogue if you do that, but it's not critical. Okay, let's just rest a little bit, because being a dev, I know that there's a enemy near, and I need to have enough HP for it. And there he is, a spider.
Okay, I'm also typing while I'm also answering some things. So
Perfect.
Stefan
So,
was not 100% sure what I intended, but we said just have a look at the mock-up screens we have at this point, and have a look at how crafting is going to behave, because the good news, first of all, for us, is that we right now have uh, a final
oh, why I don't have level
a
4?
final design with all the elements regarding crafting. So that's gonna be interesting to take a look at, because it's gonna be a little bit more complex than we initially intended, but uh, we got a few really nice ideas along the way, and so we got to the point where we had to do a complete overhaul of it. So right now it's gonna be Actually, a little bit more than we first intended for the crafting. And together with the crafting, what I can tell you is we're doing an update on the we're doing an update on the whole stats system. We had a lot of. You got lost, Gabi?
No, no.
Okay.
I was
I'm still
looking
seeing with a
for.
little bit of delay, and you didn't look very. You weren't very sure what was. So we're upgrading the stats. We got a few reports that prowess and mastery and a couple of other things um, were not helpful to the player. The player couldn't actually understand what stat influence what aspect of the character, what gave more damage, what improved survivability, what improved resources. So we're gonna do an upgrade on the whole stat system, and that's also coming with the crafting, and that's about the next thing on our list. So the demo, the prologue, is gonna stay as it is. Because with the crafting and the stats update, we're gonna do a massive overhaul of the whole system of the whole game. So nothing from the demo is gonna be further compatible with the new system. And now I'm back to watching Gabi try and not get killed by the spiders. And
So I think that the bug that I found, which is actually
yeah, it's a fun one, but don't worry, it's not done. Look, the guys are coming.
no. The point is that I missed the point where the quest would start because I didn't complete that dialogue. So right now, the hunter quest can be finished.
Yeah, that's something we should actually take a very good look at, because I did not see that reported from. We didn't get a report on that, but
Oh,
again,
well, basically, it's not really that easy to do.
it's a bug that's hard to.
You just have to be very fast. I mean, in that 0.5 seconds to enter a screen. How many users would do
Okay,
that? So
okay. But it's something we should look into. We thanks to our awesome community and everyone helping us on our Discord server. We had um a lot of things pointed to us along the way. So with their help, we managed to deliver this in an almost bug-free state, and we're all really proud of this and really thankful to everyone helping us with this. And thank you, Stefan. Now I have the screens, so almost all the screens. I still need one. So we're gonna have a chat on what's coming next, and with the mock-ups on the mock-ups for crafting, alchemy, and cooking.
Yes. Use better words, dude.
Doing my best.
Okay, so yeah, basically what Neles wants is to give you an aerial view of the outpost that is in game from Unity.
Yeah. So yeah, but let's get to that point after we run through the whole thing. I'm still uh enjoying watching Gabi get bitten by a spider. Not really, but he
Nah,
had
he's
a
fine. He's
little
fine.
bit of a tough time with it, so it was fun to watch. And again, any questions, anything on the Discord or on the chat? That would be awesome if I would be monitoring the chat, which I wasn't. Okay. So the Steam chat. Now I am monitoring the Steam chat. So if there's questions there, uh, I forgot that.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see the choices.
I'm not sure if I should take anything.
Yeah, you can take both because you have 2
No,
points.
I won't do that. I want to get
Uh,
to level
he's,
5.
he's trolling. He's waiting for level 5 to take all of them.
Something like that.
Unbelievable.
So,
So he's not taking the two abilities that on the first tier, so he's got his points for the second tier and take most of them. I just love. We just the there's an ability that we just worked on with this update. It's Lucky Shot. I really love that. I really like that spell, that ability, because it's um, something we try to do with that and have different. Try to have two different. To have a big range of damage in it. I mean, can you show formations again? Yes, as soon as
okay, so
the combat ends. Yes.
we have the formation system here.
Yeah, this is in. Of course, I wasn't monitoring Breach
Oh,
while
come on.
but now I saw. Fortunately, Tegi here was monitoring and Twitch and saw the comment. Yes, we have formations in. There is a chance that players that played the game on played the prologue and came here directly from playing the prologue did not see a lot of these improvements, and formations, yes, was widely requested and we brought it in. And we're still improving on it, but and we will um, take a look at the baseline formations later. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So now I have all the images I might need to be able to show you guys a lot of stuff towards the end of the live stream. See, properly set up.
Okay.
Okay, so Probably the hunter quest actually was activated, but not really sure. Let's just check. Yep, I got the hunter guide to activate when I went back to the previous scene.
Ah, okay, okay.
And right now I can actually...
Yeah, we're gonna need to take a look at that, but sure, it's a demo. There's still things not, but we are doing our best to.
I mean,
Uh,
technically it's fixed.
it's fixed.
But that issue is not really easy to
I
fix.
still love this loading bug. I mean,
I,
it's so fun. I think we're gonna keep that. I'm or if we really have to fix it, I really think we're gonna fix it last because it's so funny to seeing that loading bar go all over the place.
So if you guys have any question, don't hesitate, please. Uh, be it on Steam chat, Twitch, or Discord.
okay.
Neles, do you want to tell the guys a little bit about the world? I
Are
know
you
that you had a few,
sure it's a good idea? No,
just
I'm kidding.
some
No, I'm
bullet
kidding.
points.
Of
Yeah.
course, of course. Yeah, the game starts. The game starts in the middle of the war. Well, you need a conflict to any meaningful for any meaningful action, and the world is I would say uh, medieval with certain degree of magic. It has a base degree of magic in it. We have wizards, we have battle clerics, we have classes that actively use magic, but it's not an overpowering magic. So there is balance between magic wielding character and uh, physical character like Kingsman or the Ranger. So it's got a base level of magic, and there's the conflict between
Come on.
the Kingdom of Elion that the player is part of, that Andar, the hero uh, of the game, the story it's part of, and the Assyrian Empire. That's the enemies at this point that
The bad
you,
guys.
yeah, the bad guys. But it's a little bit more than that, and somehow we don't know exactly how yet. We're gonna find out during the game that um, uh, the Assyrians have access to a totally higher degree of magic. Hence the necromancers, the one we have been fighting in the first part of this demo, and there will be a lot more coming because they have the Assyrians have access uh, to necromancy that's forbidden in this world. It's a social state. It's a social agreement that necromancy is forbidden, but somehow it's not anymore. At least for the Assyrian Empire. So because of this, Elion, the kingdom of Elion is struggling. Is struggling because, of course, they're totally overpowering them. So the main idea of the start of the game is to find a way to fight what seems to be a losing battle, because right now it is a losing battle. These guys are just uh, running for safety, coming from their own fortress that they lost. So it's clearly not a good position they're in. Um, a lot of things in the world are going to be familiar with most RPGs, like various animals and creatures, and but we also keep have a few surprises in store uh, for the players regarding characters and creatures that they're gonna meet later in the game. We'll see. We'll see about that. Not a lot I can say right now because I don't want to spoil the fun. Um, yeah, it's since I've been working on the story and on um, the quest. It's a little bit hard for me to get an idea of what to say without spoiling, making sure I'm not spoiling more of the story later on. Uh, I am totally not sure what it's Gabidu trying to do. He was trying to set up his gear, and now we meet Jane. What I wanted to say, because he's in the quest interface, is that there's we are going to change a bit the system and how it works in the dialogue. So the plan is to uh, get rid of that intermediate screen when selecting quests and dialogue, so everything is more streamlined. But that's sure coming a little bit later, but it's coming, it's happening. And
I mean,
all
this
these
one.
characters, that's something I also previously said. Some of these characters, yeah, that screen exactly. I There is the delay, so it takes me a bit to figure out what you're doing or showing. So
Random seems to be quite good this time for me.
yeah, it's the RNG gods
I mean,
are with you
I,
this time
I like
around, I
what I
would say.
get.
Yeah,
I mean,
that means you actually might have a chance to
I mean, uh,
not be in trouble later on
get
with
some pretty good.
the fights lower in the dungeon. But getting back to the characters, depending on I'm gonna give a little bit of a spoiler here, but it's only fun to do so in this setup with us being live. Depending on whether you're helping or not helping uh, this guy, you are going to meet him again, and sure, you're gonna meet him with or without his wife, because right now you're trying to help him save his wife. So consequences are going to be a thing in in the game. So depending on quests you complete or quests you uh, fail or quests you choose not to complete, there's gonna be uh, characters that you encounter later on, or other quests that you get access to, or quests you don't get access to because of that. So the idea is much of the world is going to react
War never changes.
to what you do, but sure, uh, the main story, it's got its key points. So we're not aiming at this moment for multiple endings or anything like that. That's true. We're not aiming for that, so don't expect anything like that. But there's still gonna be a lot of variation in the game and how you go through it. What?
Okay.
What is Gabi trying to do? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Rearranging.
I was watching for.
You're aware you implemented automatic sorting in this game,
No,
right?
no, that's not sorting. That's filtering.
Filtering, sorry.
Well, we have to
Implemented
also
filtering.
add sorting at some point.
Yeah,
Because
I had that as a requested feature. It is a requested feature. Now let's take a look at the loading thing again.
we're in
Okay.
the dungeon.
Now we're in the dungeon. You see, this is how you know it's not a traditional.
Seriously, a lot of
He's not a traditional RPG player. He's not collecting everything. Sure, please,
uh,
Gabi.
I was watching that a lot of the gear random gives me resistances, which is funny.
Yeah,
But I
basically
guess it's good for that.
resistances in the demo are meh, but later in game they will be important.
Techie. Yeah, uh, true that. And okay, I'm watching the stream and I was just trying to hover my mouse over the items to get an idea of what they are. No, I'm not in the game, Gabi is, sorry. But I was trying to do that nonetheless. Yes, I think
There's a great sense of
most
evil
of the
here.
RPG players are gonna do exactly that and take everything that's not nailed down and then figure out for themselves. Look, this is a sword. I have 3 mages in the party. It doesn't matter. I'll see what I'll do with it. No problem with that. Let me just take it and we'll see what we do with it later. And
It's
of
okay.
course,
The merchants from the outpost will be happy to receive them.
yes, exactly. We're gonna have merchants, of course. So even stuff that's not useful or it's not useful anymore, it's gonna bring a little bit of cash because we are going to craft to have crafting and sure something that's crafted for level 10 level 15 it's not gonna be useful for level 35 anymore, but uh, those items don't necessarily need to be destroyed because they're going to be in the uh, there's going to be the merchants always willing to take them. Okay,
All,
please, can we break down items? We don't have this in plan at the moment to something like disenchanting or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know what you have in mind. Not really, not at this moment. We don't have this in plan. It's just gonna be exchange for gold for now. So it's not in plan to do
But
that.
for example, let's say you reached level 25 or so, and all your gear is up on par with the level 25 or so. But I don't know, sooner later in the game you encounter a new follower that it's maybe level 5, and all those items that you used to have at level 5, maybe you can stash them or stuff like that, and then you can gear up the newcomers. So you will need to make a decision. You either sell everything and take the money, or you just be very selective and keep only the, I don't know, the most powerful items that you find for various levels. in that way, when you encounter a follower that can actually wear them, you can equip them and make them stronger from the get-go.
Yeah, that's something. That's a very good point, Stefan. Something I did not mention. Um, there is a roster of followers, so we're not just is it is a party based. Uh, One second, Gabi. Maybe you can kill the guy with the.
Maybe.
You can kill the enemy with the hammer, like we did last time.
If I don't kill myself with the hammer,
Yeah, if you don't kill yourself with the hammer, of course. That would be an
let me
awesome idea
just
not to do.
see if I can
Yeah.
do that.
Okay, so there is a roster of followers, which means that you don't just get the 2, 3 followers you start with.
Just
No, the followers are not gonna be the same level. No, because they're not necessarily going to be in your
What?
party.
Oh,
So
way to
you
match damage.
yes. So this is why you have. We're gonna get to that point to talking about the outpost and barracks. So you might just as well have like 15 or 20 followers later in the game, and when you leave the outpost to go and go on a mission or go and do a quest, you can choose the party you take with you. So maybe you want to go with the mage, a wizard, the ranger, and just like the party we have now, or maybe you favor a more full ranged party. Depends. So every time you leave the outpost, you have the choice of what followers to bring with you. So as you encounter followers, they're gonna be on different levels, and you can bring them to your level either by taking them with you on these on while going out, or by using the mission system, unattended missions, meaning you get certain missions and you select a party and you send them in that mission, and if they're successful, they're going to bring back resources, and of course get some experience for it, or if they're not successful, get less experience, of course, and come back wounded and have to stay away for healing and not be available for a period of time because they came back wounded. So it's a system where you have to balance how you're gonna approach this. It's another layer of it's another tactical system that forces the player to make
Oh,
choices on how he's going to approach this. Take the risk of going with your followers maybe 2, 3 levels below what you would want them to be, or send them on missions trying to raise their level, and hoping that they don't come back failing the mission and wounded. And about this, this system comes together with another system that I'm going to let Stefan talk about, because he's the um, main design behind this other system that comes together with
Behind the game.
with yeah,
Uh,
and the system.
before that,
Please.
I saw on Twitch for Anatherin. Yes, traditionally the level of the followers would be on par with the level of the main character, but our zones, our major open world zones, will have some sort of brackets for levels. and the followers that you will encounter will be between those brackets. So I'm not expecting for Andar to be level 20 and meet new followers that are level 2 or 3 or 5. So it's going to be around +5 or -5 within Andar's range, Andar's level. But we will see how that plays out eventually, because play testing it would be the decisive factor, basically.
And again, um, that's how it's an open world area, so it depends a lot whether you where you go first, because you might meet a follower that would be your level, but if you choose to go on different paths and do different other side quests, by the time you meet that follower, you're going to be a little bit above its level. That's natural, it's normal. So we have this system to balance levels around uh, for the whole team, for the followers. Sure, you at 10-15 hours in the game, you're not gonna meet level 1 followers. That's
Yeah, we'll not do that.
that's
But
clearly, but still there's gonna be differences and there's gonna be brackets in levels. I was talking about the systems behind some other systems that are still not in the game, while Gabi's navigating the second level of the dungeon and hoping to and going to one of the hard battles.
yeah, I can talk about a little bit about the outpost. So if you guys are familiar, and I'm sure that most of you are, with the XCOM series, basically our outpost is the same as in XCOM series. It's your base of operations. Uh, in the outpost, you can do everything in the game, except fighting, of course. Crafting, alchemy, cooking, repairing, resting, changing gear, changing followers for your party setup, and of course, you sending your followers to do missions. Missions will be very important, especially for gathering resources. They will be very important. Recipes for crafting and resources will be the main driver for sending followers in missions. Because again, the way we design the crafting, you will need a lot of resources. For example, you might get a recipe that will require you to gather, I don't know, 10 irons and 5 lizard scales. I'm just saying. But
This is
iron,
a recipe that's worrying me. Whatever you need 10 iron and 5 lizard scales for, it's worrying.
well, it doesn't matter. Just an example, but basically, from a vein of iron, you would get like 1 to 2 ores, tops. So you'll need to find at least 5 of them in order to get that amount. So missions will be very important. Also, Nele started a little bit about resting. Right now in the demo, we don't have this. Meaning, every combat that your followers do, let's say like now when Gabi fought the ghoul, you will have fatigue that will decrease with every combat that you do. And just a second, Teki. And fatigue will influence your base stats. So the more fatigue you are, the more fatigue you have, or you are, the stats that you have will take a hit, and you will be less effective in combat. You can recover fatigue by resting, but this will come as a surprise. It will not fully charge your fatigue. In order to fully charge your fatigue, you need a special class. For example, the bard, in a class that is not available in the demo. The bard will, I don't know, sing songs while you guys are resting, and that way you will be able to top your fatigue and stuff like that.
So every class brings a special feature, a special ability that they can the player can use while resting to gain a bonus, a kind of a bonus.
Exactly. Uh, in order to answer your question, Teki, yes, you will be able to find recipes, I don't know, in boxes, chests, books in different libraries and stuff like that. You will be able to buy them, for example, for crafting gear, you will be able to buy them from your local blacksmith. And I'll touch a bit about that in a second. And also you can get them from missions that you send followers through. When I say you can buy them from the local blacksmith, in the outpost you will be able, basically like any other game, for example Diablo, it's a good example. You can upgrade your blacksmith. You can actually pay him money and upgrade his recipes, and he will start with 5 or 3 or I don't know, 5 base recipes, common, and you can upgrade him. And each time you upgrade him, he will give you a few more recipes, and you will have a chance to give you an uncommon recipe. And if you upgrade him again more, there will be a chance to give you rare recipes, and so on and so on. We are planning to do this sort of thing, like we are doing with the crafting for gear, with alchemy and cooking as well. So if you invest in a chef, for example, yeah, you will get access to better recipes. That, for example, to give you an example, what we want for crafting recipes. While in the world, you can craft recipe on your campfire. You can craft cooking. Um, Cooking will give you supplies that are used for resting, and will also give you special food that will give you temporary bonuses. For example, we can have like a bear meat stew that will yield you 25 supplies, and it will also give you some cold resistance, water resistance for, I don't know, an hour. Think about Zelda style cooking, because in Zelda Breath of the Wild, the Switch version, you can actually cook a lot of stuff that will protect you from the elements, and we want that in our game, because later in game, when an enemy will have like a fireball spell, you will need a little more fire resistance. Or if you meet, let's say, an ice elemental, you will need that water resistance, and so on. What else can we talk about? We talked about the outpost. So basically, you can upgrade certain aspects of the outpost. And in order to do that, you will use, besides or alongside money or gold, you will use resources like tar, metal, rocks, wood, sort of like an RTS game. And these mines or tar pits or lumberjacks, you will find them scattered throughout the world. And when you, let's say, a lumberjack is being overrun by wild enemies, when you liberate that lumberyard, when you liberate that lumberyard, it will start producing some resources for your outpost, no matter what map you find the lumberyard is. Yeah. So when you have a certain amount of lumber and stone and tar and stuff like that, and you have the gold, you can upgrade the blacksmith, you can upgrade the moonflower barrow, Moonflower Barrow is the place where you send your followers to rest after they were in a mission. You can upgrade also your alchemy, cooking, and stuff like that.
Um, let's see how Gabi is doing because we haven't been
How are you, Gabi? How is Munkor?
looking at what he's doing, and
I'm
he
fine.
looks more and more focused
Trying
on
to.
on the combat. So I was worried about the outcome.
Oh, it's fine.
Ouch.
Not very smart. Okay, so.
Let's see if we get anything from skill
Uh,
sections. No.
by the way, right now in the demo, in the first part of Daeg Fall, for example, where the fortress is being under siege, you have a few boxes that gives you uh, potions. During combat, you can use potions at your own will,
Yeah,
without
as
any other.
much as you want. Yeah, you don't. There's no limitation for potion usage. You don't spend action points for using potions, and there's no limit to how many potions you can use at one time because potions are going to be hard to find and quite difficult to make. We'll look at the alchemy screen pretty soon, and so once you went through all the steps of making them, um, might just well use them.
I'm not really sure, but either the random was way too good. I mean, almost all my items have resistances right now, and this is pretty strange for me.
The RNG gods are in a good mood today,
But
probably from the rain or something like that.
this fight was way easier than I expected.
No, 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 no. It went. Of course, we overhauled all of the encounters a little. Wanted to make sure people could finish the.
We can make it harder again. So
I know you've been waiting for that. I know you are waiting for that.
Stamina and mastery, this is really good. Stamina and mastery.
yeah, very good.
Stamina and mastery. Perfect. I mean, like,
You have unspent points. How? Why?
I just leveled up
Oh,
a few
okay.
moments ago.
He was just ignoring the points, but I can assure you he's been doing a good job gathering everything since he's at 263 flies. So yeah, he's been doing a good job at gathering everything. So shouldn't be any problems. And I think now with Munkor, we cleared this area.
Yes. I'm just looking for.
Yes, Gabi is very hardcore.
Until we surprise him. Until especially the Stefan, until Stefan surprises him with the various things on in the dungeons or areas. He's got some surprises in store, so that's fun to watch. Seeing Gabi every time. Okay, here it's a big It's something
Like,
blocking the
re-
path that would need a lancer, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah, Lance.
doesn't
to
drive.
use its demolition to clear this path, but not having a lancer in the party, we can't access that area. That's something that's gonna happen throughout um, the game. So many of the dungeons will have at least one path that you need a certain character with its ability to be able to get past that point. So some dungeons might actually need revisiting to get to see everything, to get to see all the path. Um, Many will have clues in the conversation, in the quest text, uh, showing that you need maybe a wizard because a bridge is collapsed, or maybe a lot of things got destroyed there, so you clearly need a lancer to clear up the path. But
Or
yes,
maybe during the quest, the text of the quest, we will not tell them anything, and they will need to figure out for themselves.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's clearly a number of places that will where this will happen. Definitely. So there will be surprises. We like surprises. So when we like to put a lot of fun things in the game. So, and the secret places, they will also have uh, some of these
Oh, I forgot to take.
blocking points. So you'll never really 100% know whether you're going to cover the whole run into the dungeon with your party. This is why we're putting so much emphasis on the roster of characters, of gathering a large many characters of different classes, and gearing them up and keeping them at more or less the same level, so you can use whatever party you want at some point to
For example, I'm
manage
planning
the game.
to sport two battle clerics every time. So the other slot will be just for unlocking at least one path in a level, for example. But two battle clerics, definitely. I love battle clerics.
Yeah, so unless we find a good middle ground, there's a chance they might be a little bit overpowered, but I hope not.
No. It's going to be fine.
You had to bump into them.
Oh,
Wait.
come on. 1
Uh,
HP.
Teki, basically, warrior priest was taken, so I had to come up with battle cleric. So yeah,
But is he's in that general overall area. So actually, I like the system a lot myself, and he also, because it's one of the few classes that does a very good job at managing damage and healing at the same time. So it's a even though it's not the strongest in terms of damage, it's very good as a support character. It can play both roles quite well. And ah, we forgot about that. Um, Also, I would say on popular request, even though I'm not sure that's the right term. We are we are changing the way armor behaves, and we are putting four armor levels. It's light armor, medium armor, hardened, and heavy armor. So different different classes are gonna be able to wear different types of armor. It's not limited to a class. Where we don't want to do this. We're not big fans of you have an exceptional uh, piece of armor, but it says wizard on it, so everyone else that could use it won't be able to use it. But still, your wizard has an even better piece of armor, so you're stuck with two very good pieces of armor, while your I don't know your necromancer has
Basically,
something.
what Nelis is trying to say is not going to be class bound. It's
But
going.
yes, please, 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 please go ahead.
Yeah, we don't have like specific class bound. This light armor is for wizard only. No, every light armor will be able to be worn by wizard, necromancers, and priests alike. Or medium armor will be able to be worn by ranger, thieves, bard, and andar, for example. But will not have like this is for wizards only. No, we're not going to have that.
Let's.
Not slower. We don't intend at the moment to have weight limits, but it will definitely influence the amount of armor it gives. And also, we have like a system that Gabi created.
Yes, yes, yes. You will get the necromancer class, of course.
Yep.
But
Uh,
it's gonna be fun. Obtaining it, it's gonna be fun because, as I said, necromancy is forbidden in the kingdom of Elion. So there's no formal necromancer training as there is for wizards when all the wizards are trained at the High School of Magic of Carnevrion, and you will get to visit that place. But uh, since there is no official necromancer school, it's gonna be an interesting path to getting that necromancer in your party, or those necromancers in your party.
uh,
Timuki, I have no idea
what?
what.
What is it? Like video? Yes, we are live on Twitch.
Yes, Techie, necromancer, or warlock. I'm an old time warlock. Whenever I get my hands on that class, I love it. But we're not making a warlock here, specifically because we had a choice at some point, and I said, uh, no, we don't have video on demand because, well, don't do. Um, Basically because I don't know how to save the stream, so I'm guessing it's a little bit late. But
Gabi is
he's
recording the whole
recording
thing.
this, so we're gonna put it. I'm guessing on
YouTube.
YouTube, on our YouTube channel. So it's gonna be available, but not on.
I like the way Teki thinks. And are two battle clerics and a necromancer. Yeah, basically it's one party army.
It's going to be an explosive combination, considering that um, well, necromancers use death magic that clerics are a little bit weak to, and battle clerics use light magic that has it it's completely the opposite effect. So it's gonna be interesting if explosive combination. Uh, I'm switching from channel to channel to see if there's questions in one part or another. So I might miss some things, but I am fully confident someone will tell me if uh, Gabi got in trouble, because I'm seeing his very serious face while playing. So I'm beginning to be worried about how things are going.
It's fine.
Yes. Gabi is being very serious and very quiet today, but don't worry, he's not that quiet normally. So thank you, Becky. I'm
Also, we will try to do. I I'm I can only post it in Discord to have like summonables or pets that can fight alongside the party for a period of time. And
that
of course, the necromancer will get one, of
that
course.
that little screenshot comes directly from
Come
our
on.
internal documents. What happened?
Oh, miss.
That's gonna be that's gonna happen a lot more often when we set up all the systems.
As I said in the beginning of the stream, right now the spells themselves are just doing the job, but they are not. Some of them are not fun, and I would rather have fun spells than overpowering spells in the game, because fun spells will let you as a player to customize the way you play and think maybe outside of the box, like for example, and different from the way we think. So yeah, I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping to see some interesting bugs or interesting way to finish a fight. So I'll just try my best to give you the tools to do that. And by tools, I mean the spells themselves. You will have ways to block the path of the enemies. You will have the beacons of light that will you will place them on the battlefield that will heal the party every time the beacon's turn will come. But of course, that beacon will join the battle and it can be destroyed. So you will need to figure it out where to place it and when to place it. So yeah, we have quite a few things coming along. We just need the time to implement all the stuff that we are thinking and all the stuff that we have written on our documents. If you have any questions, please do let us know again.
And as I said, now with Gabi's help, because I still couldn't figure out a few things, but with Gabi's help, we managed to set up to have quite a good setup on uh, for the live stream. So we might actually be
Doing this
doing
more
this
often.
again, doing this again. Maybe not necessarily with a playthrough, because but at least as a Q&A session. And
Yeah, I would like for us to have like I don't know, maybe once every 2 weeks or so, 1 or 2 hour of Q&A, or 1 or 2 hours of project status to share with the community. Also, I was thinking because the whole thing about streaming got me going, and I will see how I will manage my time. But I will do a streaming for the Discord community, especially to build, and I will build a small dungeon, a very small dungeon in real time for a few hours. And maybe you guys can join in and see like the process itself, how it's done. And I'm hoping Unity will not crash and stuff like that. So yeah, that's all.
That would be a very, very rare occurrence to go like 3 hours without that thing crashing, but we're hoping.
Yeah. Well, if it crashes, I'll be back, so it's fine. Same goes for now, for example. So.
But yes, we go through the systems as we develop them. That's another thing we plan because again, just developing all the systems, staying here, developing everything, and then coming and showing them as a final product. Maybe it's not always the best option because there are a lot of things that there's a lot we learned from the prologue and from the demo, and a lot of the feedback we got from you guys. It's right now in this updated demo, so we intend to involve the community more from this point on. But it was a little bit harder until we got here, until we got to the place where everyone could actually get their hands on the demo and experience the game for themselves. Because as much as we show through a stream, through a live stream, through a game dev session, if the player cannot experience the game for themselves, it won't be of that much use. I don't know. Maybe that's the right word or not. Maybe it makes sense what I'm saying. Maybe not.
A bit.
A bit. No, what I wanted to say is we didn't do this before because until we got a demo, there was no point with the players not being actually able to
Also
understand
experiment it.
yes, and understand the look and feel we're aiming for.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay.
And now Gabi is looking to get in trouble. And yeah, I want to thank him also for putting up with us talking while he's playing.
Don't worry, I have no idea what you said.
He's completely ignoring us. It's okay. He's completely ignoring us. It feels like a development session, I would say.
Yeah, but after he is done with the Guardian and the demo itself, I would like him to talk about the biggest system that he implemented, the quest system.
Yes. It's quest system is a little much. No, it's a little wrong because that system is a whole lot more than a quest system. It's an interaction system.
Yeah.
Got a lot of things going for it, so you guys get an idea what it's behind, what the capabilities of the system are, and what you can expect from the game going forward with the capabilities in place.
You gotta love those emotes, man. You
Yes,
gotta love those emotes.
yes, totally. I heard you and I was like, what is that?
All right, you are close, Gabi.
I know.
I'm still sorry
So,
we didn't do more with the golem.
I'm
But,
not.
yeah,
I'm not.
You're not because you know what's coming later. Okay, but still would have been fun. Anyway, people are gonna have to deal with the issues with that guy at some point. Not, I don't know if with him exactly, but
With his kind, let's say.
he's gonna mean trouble at some point. So
Um, let me see where I put it. Just a second, guys.
I
Not,
I I
not going
I,
anywhere.
I like how Gabi is very careful at saving.
No, actually, they are meant for dev testing later on.
You're just keeping saves to do things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I might try to do something right now.
Yep. Golems we have.
So this is
Okay, I got an idea what you're planning.
come on.
Nope. Lucky shot is not available yet.
No, I had it, but for this 2020 focus, but text to action point. Oh god. Okay. That's how I like
You're gonna get yourself in trouble.
it. No,
No,
actually, it's way too easier. Too easy.
but yeah, you got lucky with the drops.
I don't think so. Well, I think so, but even so, it's. I didn't expect this to be so easy.
Well, we had to go through a couple of rounds of working on the difficulty levels, to
Okay,
say
so
so. Actually, making it easier because there were a couple of fights that were really, really hard, including this one at some point in the demo, and the feedback wasn't really happy.
No, they were nerfed a bit.
And we did an overhaul of the whole characters, enemies. Now all the enemies are in the compendium with strengths and weaknesses and threat levels. Maybe we're gonna take a look at that as soon as Gabi makes sure he doesn't get in trouble with the big guy, but I don't think he is going to, so we're good. Just as soon as he finishes the battle, we're gonna, because there's gonna be another entry added in the compendium, because now every time you encounter an enemy, you after you defeat it, you gather knowledge about it, and you find it in the compendium with short description, but especially its strength, its weaknesses, which is very important. Maybe not now because many enemies are not that hard to defeat, but definitely later because there's gonna be some that are going to be more difficult to defeat. Some tougher guys we're gonna meet. But still, you are almost three-quarters of health of all characters. So
I'm actually more. They're almost.
yeah. No, I was looking at the couple of characters that
Come on,
got
die.
hit in the process, but I don't think you're gonna die. You gotta use Lucky Shot more. That's an awesome ability.
I know,
I
I know.
really
I
love.
use it a lot, but
I really love that. It's either you get like, hey, I hit for 100, or oh, I hit for 10. How?
made no sense right now. That right then, and that's why I didn't use it. Stamina and mastery. This is good. Stamina and mastery. I think I'll use it on this one. Okay, got it.
Okay. So we are one fight away from the end of the
Yes,
demo.
yes. Gabi, can
Yes.
we take a look for after the dialogue? Take a look at the compendium.
Okay.
Let's see if the giant is also there. It should be there in the not here, not in the quests, in the
Okay, you mean
enemies.
enemies? What am I looking for?
We're looking for undead.
Okay, undead. Skeletons. Giant.
Yes,
Skeleton giant.
yes.
I'm not sure what's with this empty
Uh,
area then.
Sometimes we have to figure out why that happens. Sometimes it happens, but it's
Okay.
really not supposed to. So every time you encounter an enemy, it goes into the compendium, and you can find weaknesses, strengths, and for example, if you had battle cleric with you, most of the battle cleric spells are light magic. So all of those spells would have been far more effective against it. But if you have a necromancer, it might not be of a lot of help because it's most of its spells are dead magic, and all the undead skeletons, golds are immune to that magic because they were created by that magic. So even though having necromancer in the party sounds good and it's really helpful sometimes, other times is not really that helpful, except for maybe summons, because using direct spells on undead enemies, might not actually be of that much help. Uh, so that's another thing that needs to be taken into account, and maybe through the quest and reading through the information, you get an idea of what you'll encounter. Uh, Quest text usually says that, so you uh, necromancer are always helpful. Yeah, there's a saying that necromancers are actually late healers. They just landed the healing late, so now they're doing the resurrecting part.
Okay, so basically Gabi should be able to deal with the Guardian pretty fast.
Yeah, very not necessarily very late healers. We have them as very late healers here because there's only skeletons around, but with ghouls and other types of undead, they might actually just have been, I don't know, a couple of hours late. So it is a late healer, but again, yeah, we Gabi set up his party and his whole formation to make sure he's in the best position
Come on, why do you miss?
with this guy. This guy has been a real lot of trouble for a lot of players playing the prologue. We nerfed it a bit, yes, but he's been a lot of trouble, and he's not gonna be the only one being a lot of trouble in the full game.
Oh god. 200 damage.
Ouch. I would go with that. And you see, you make 119 damage with arcane, but if you look at what the stats say about arcane damage, you're gonna see about the arcane blast spell. It says a lot less than that. That means the Guardian has a weakness to arcane magic, and you're going to see that in the compendium once the battle is finished. But that is obvious right now because when you look, it says the maximum damage that should be done by the arcane blast is 90 something, and it's doing well over 100. So there's clearly a weakness to that type of magic from the Guardian.
But I miss a lot. And I don't like that. And what level is it? 9 and I'm 8. Maybe because of that.
Yeah, because the difference of level, and the greater the difference in level, the more you get to miss against an enemy, and the same happens with the enemies attacking you. The greater your level, the
You mean,
more they.
you know what's the best healing ability here? It's actually one from Andar. He has bandage, but also has empower. So empower gives you 25% stamina buff, but if you don't have enough HP, it will actually heal you a lot. For example,
Well,
150.
we need to fix that.
I'm not sure you can fix that. I mean, it gives you a buff in stamina.
So of course it gives you more stamina. That's how
I'm not really. Probably you need to give a lot less, but 25%.
No. It's Stefan's reflexes are extraordinary. He's like, we need to nerf that. We clearly need to nerf that.
Yes, we will nerf that.
Come on. I just healed myself 300 HP in 2 turns.
Yes, that is why.
If you let him, he'd nerf the game to the ground.
But I see that you didn't pick any crowd control abilities, which is interesting, and I like your playstyle.
I mean, no need for that. Ooh,
But
critical.
he's keeping his range very, very ranged.
For example, look
At
here.
the very limit of.
I have 444 HP on Gary, and if I use Empower, I just give him. Oh, I forgot that I used it previously, so it actually gave me nothing.
So it's a one-time heal.
It's a one-time heal for as long as the ability lasts. So it's not that good if you use it again.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Taki. We don't have to tell those exploits to Stefan. The second you tell Stefan about those exploits, they're gonna be poof gone.
I cannot deny or confirm what Nele said.
6 HP.
Come on, die, die, die.
I
Let's
can
deal
kill
with
it
that guy.
right away, but
With the bright shiny guy.
come on.
You're trying to do some form of execute on him or what?
That would be nice.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the last
Stamina,
fight of
armor, critical.
the demo for anyone not familiar with it. For
Seriously, the random was really great.
Yep.
RNG gods played in your favor.
I mean, I love look at this helmet.
Yeah.
Critical chance +4. I want to keep this gear for the
For the
rest of the game.
rest of the game, yeah.
Yeah, we've been asked about that, but unfortunately, I'm sorry, we're not
What
gonna be
happened to
able
the stream?
to do that. To
Okay, so it's still running.
Okay.
So I just have to go to Talmar.
Just a quick note, guys. After Steam Festival, basically the team will go into content mode because we have a lot of content ahead of us, and I don't
we're
know.
gonna be around, but there's not gonna be much update very very soon.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, well, there's a lot to think of and a lot of things to work on, and Riedvale, which is the first region, it's quite large. It's got, I don't know, 7 8 dungeons and a lot of things happening at the same time, a lot of quests starting at that point. So there's a lot for us to put into work. So we will be around every day. When we're working, we are online, and we're always answering any questions there might be on Discord. But there's not gonna be a lot of new content coming very soon. That's why talking with Gabi and with Stefan decided on maybe doing this live conversations once in a while to keep everyone informed of the progress, because otherwise there will not necessarily be a lot visible from the first moment. Yes, like a Mortal Kombat, execute him. Yes, yes, but no, that's not going to happen.
So this is the demo.
This has been the demo, guys. I know many of you are familiar with it, but we also wanted to go through it for any reviewers that might not have played through it. And I don't know if Gabi has still the. Let me check from my side first before I start talking.
Okay, so
If
what
the
happened?
stream for me it's still coming along. If it is, I'm going
So
to.
stream from you it is, but
It's all over the place, I'm guessing.
no, it's kind of fixed right now. I think so.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, we're being our heads are
No,
being
no,
a little
don't worry. I'll fix it right away.
okay.
So
Okay,
right
I
now
don't want my head to be that big.
I
I don't want
activated
my head to be that big.
the streaming from your side.
Okay.
But wait a little bit to be seen on the stream.
Okay, I see it live right now, but I think you're going to have to move us to the lower part so people get a view of the whole left quadrant of the. Yes, yes. Leave us somewhere there.
Okay.
Okay. And, I'm gonna leave you off screen, guys. It's okay. I'm gonna leave you off screen.
Come on.
Okay, so this is the crafting. We wanted to give you an idea of what's coming. Um, we're doing a bit of an upgrade also on the items. So the items are gonna have quality levels. You can see the quality levels written close to the items. So
What you guys are seeing,
not all items are created equal.
and what you guys are seeing basically is it's a mock-up. Um, not all the icons are done, obviously, for the filtering and stuff like that. And but as Nellis said, we will have quality for items, common, uncommon, rare, exotic, and epics. Just a quick question for you guys.
Everybody wants epics. That's clear.
Yeah, but I saw in other games that exotics are better than epics, and of course, epics in other games, epics are better than exotics. Uh, for us, epics for now um, are the ultimate gear, so to speak. So we'll keep it that way. We will see if any feedback or negative feedback will arise from this, but I doubt it. I'll just go very fast through the crafting, the new crafting, because what we have now is half baked. So each recipe will come with level, durability, type of gear. For example, if it's I don't know, glove or helmet, stuff like that, armor. And when I say armor, it can have from the get-go either armor or magical armor. So you can actually have gear. You can actually have gear that you can craft toward magic immunity. Well, not immunity, but magic resistance. So
Magic resistance, not
yeah,
immunity.
keep that in mind. So in this example, for example, in this example, you will have to place the recipe itself will tell you something along the following lines. You will need to place 5 metals at your own choosing, 3 fabrics, and 5 crystals, for example. But when you will place, for let's say iron itself will give you a stat, and you will need 5 of those iron in order to complete the
The
recipe.
recipe.
Yes, in order to have 100% chance of crafting, you need a crafting kit and the materials that the recipe is
Requires.
required from you. Let's say 5 iron, 5 fabrics, and 5 crystals. But if you want to go over the limit of the recipe, you will have like an unstable, we call it internally unstable slot or unstable element. What this means in the right part where you say where you see 15 strength, you can let's say you have lying around uh, 8 moonstone shards. You can,
Lying around.
yeah, lying around. I mean in your inventory. You can place those moonstone shards and you can place as many as you want. But each time you place a material in that special slot, the durability of the item you craft will be decreased by 3%, and the chance to craft the item will be decreased by 15%. Exactly. It's like you are brewing a potion, but if you wanted to make it a bit more powerful, it can actually blow up in your face. So it comes at a risk. And when the recipe fails, you lose all the materials. So it's you need to be very careful if you
It's
want to do that.
it's a balance between fixed recipes and complete crafting freedom. It's somewhere in the middle, meaning you have to stick by the recipe. If the recipe says 5 metals and 3 fabrics, you're gonna have to put 5 metals and 3 fabrics. But the metals and the fabrics are at your choice. You're free to choose what metals and what fabrics, depending on the stats you want for that item, that specific item. Meaning that you could use a recipe to get mm, 5, 10 different swords that come from the same recipe, and use them for different characters you have, depending on what you need, what materials you have available. And but again, also you have to um, stick by the what the recipe is requiring. And the more you advance through level and areas, you're gonna get better recipes with more material slots, with better material combinations that you can then use to make very powerful items. And of course, that 15% chance of crafting for each and every unstable material you add, it's not really that much for a recipe requiring 3 common metals. It's gonna be a big loss for an epic recipe if you fail that craft, because there's gonna be a lot of materials lost in that recipe.
Uh,
That's a quick look at the system. Sure, there's a lot more coming. Uh,
just a second, Alex.
please,
Ricardo,
please.
save before actually crafting the item. Yes, it can happen. I don't think we can stop that. Basically, you can't stop that with anything in game. For example, right now, for any combat, you see a combat ahead, you save before, you do the combat, you don't like the outcome. By outcome, I mean maybe you want, I don't know, Andar to give the last hit to get more XP. You can reload and do the combat again. We will think about that after we do the actual system. But for now, it is what it is. If the player wants to save and load, save and load, save and load until he will get that item,
Specific item.
well, it's his time in the end. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
his choice. It's again, it's an RPG. There's a lot of freedom in how you play, and could be probably something different. There's not much in terms of crafting and drops right now set up for difficulty levels. We don't have much in plan about that, but uh, that part of the difficulty levels, it's still a bit of a work in progress. So there's nothing final yet. There might be changes coming along. Okay. Stefan, uh, anything else you want to go through at this
For
moment?
for crafting itself,
I would
no.
say it's
It's just a quick run through for what's coming next. We will tweak that, and we will think about it internally regarding the crafting chance. Maybe we'll have like a solution for the save load type of player. We will see, but in the end, doesn't really matter.
Okay, so is there anything else? Or maybe I could show a little bit of the quest system and a little bit of the dev
yes,
Unity.
yes. Should we take a couple of minutes breaks, or at least I am going to need a couple of minutes break until you set up the whole system? It's okay with everyone?
I mean, it's
5 minutes.
already set up, but
Okay, perfect then. Let's go.
uh, it won't take long. I mean, let's see. So I activate it. You should be able to
And it
see
goes.
for a short moment, but other than that, you should be able to see. Let's say this is the quest system, what you're seeing right now.
This was not part of the plan. We just right now decided if a lot of you guys from the server have been around, it's uh, it's a good idea to give you a short glimpse of what happens behind.
I mean, it's interesting because this thing that you see right here allows us to write basically almost everything in the game that is behavior and event, quest mostly, and doesn't require any code at all. There are various events that I needed to add, let's say for quests, but other than that, everything that you see here is usually in Nelly's playground, and
Yeah, that's my territory.
he
That's my
implements usually
playground.
all these quests that as you see here. So what you're seeing right here, let me just move this a little bit. There are quest nodes, and each node, for example, can
Give me.
have various events or dialogues in it, or can be quest items and so on. Basically, you just create a series of nodes and you put requirements to them. For example, add a requirement and just set a specific node to uh, have a specific another node as a requirement, and that means that the required node must first be completed before you can advance to the node that you set. For example, like here, so, node 9 needs node 0 and node 1 to be completed first before it's activated. How this goes into the game actually, because here what you see are only, for example, events and dialogues. I can show you in on the test scene that I'm working. So like I said, like 95% of my time, development time, actually goes here. Let me just okay. So basically the quests that you see all over the world are implemented mostly through some like event spheres that you can see over here, and I'll show you, for example, something interesting that we've been working uh, not yesterday, 2 days ago. What I'm trying to do is having multiple nodes. This is just a demo, no, so don't try to read anything here because it doesn't make any sense. It's just something I use internal for testing. And for example, here I have node 0, 1, 2, and 3. And node 3 requires node 0 to be completed. And that means I have to go through this dialog and then on this specific branch, the farewell, to have it completed. If I go to all the other branches that you see here, this node will not complete. So I have to go to this specific narrator branch over here to be completed. Once this is completed, node 3 will activate because node 1 and node 2, for example, are optional. So for this specific quest, we try to implement something that Neles requested I think it actually was a few months ago, but I just had time to do it right now.
Yep, a month it was.
To have a requirement with or, and basically it's either you complete node 0 or node 1 and 2, and I'll show you for how that goes into the game itself. So I hit play. You should be able to see me playing. Just a moment. I mean, if it doesn't crashes. So it didn't, but still takes a little bit. As you can see here, I have everything set up for testing. A lot of enemies, even the guardian is right there. And this is a quest. So this quest, it's actually the one that you see right here, and it's 6.0. So it's the first node that I was talking about a little bit earlier. And I'll just go through it. I'll leave it this here to show you how we can also see what happens during testing with a specific node. So I'll go to this quest, press OK. I'll have the dialog because it realizes that there's a dialog there, and sadly I don't have the followers that I need. I just use something internal that we used to add followers, and now I have all the followers.
So he's showing you all the cheats right now.
And I started the dialog. As you see, while starting the dialog, this node over here, it's already activated because I activated here, and we can track every movement from here. For example, the next, it's updated once every second. And right now I have these 3 branches. For example, what I implemented 2 days ago was to have the possibility to return to a specific node in the past. For example, I go to this branch, the middle branch. I have some dialogue. Then I go back to discussions and I return to the branching node that we saw previously. If I go to the left branch, it gives me an error because I don't have an NPC set, but that's just okay for the moment. And then it exits the dialog because there's this event here that said I should exit the dialog. I'll just go again into the dialog. We start again from the top. Right now I don't update everything that you see here, but we'll just go on the right branch to see what happens. And when I go on the right branch, notice this branch over here, 3. I'll just go through there. Okay, and now node 3 is activated because we completed the node 0, and we can go through to this specific node that's here, and that was set to be as node 3. As you can see here, I'm not pretty sure it can be seen pretty well, but that was set as node 3. And basically this is how we design almost everything in the game.
So as you saw, you can expect branching dialogue. You can expect multiple options, and they're gonna be a lot part of the final game. Sorry, Gabby, I just wanted to point that little thing out for everyone.
One last thing that I think it's interesting to show, it's how a scene
Unity
looks
crash.
for us in the editor. So it's basically like this. We have a lot of let's say text and information, and almost everything you see here, it's a quest point or
Yeah, that's
resources
the dungeon.
and basically you can see labels with all the quests, and we kind of know what they are. I mean, when Ellis designed a specific quest, he knows that 110 it's actually the dungeon quest. It's a pretty big one, and we know very easy just looking at a certain event.
I can kind of tell everyone when he asks me, look, there's this thing happening at that point, and I tell him that's quest 110 node 15, let's say, and because I know them all.
Okay,
I think
so
this is all the most
Just wanted to
interesting
give you an
part.
idea of what's behind and what the system can do and can't do, but right now the system Gabi didn't mention a lot about it. It's very modular, I would guess. So a lot of things can be set up in different ways, and I'm not 100% convinced we know all the ways to use the system behind.
I mean, we have it's really this behavior system. Because initially it was a quest system, but right now I would say it's mostly a behavior system. It's really powerful and can help us design the game faster than just implementing manually everything in the game. I mean, scripting specific events, or we script them, but we script them using this quest system.
So expect a lot of creative ways to use this in the future.
okay, if you guys have any questions,
Thank you, Gabi. Thank you so much. That's a system I've been working a lot with in the last few months at least, and I keep asking him for updates and improvements, and I needed to do this and I needed to do that, and uh, mostly he he delivers very fast, so I have the tools to get the game out to you, and uh, we are going to do a little bit more of these presentations later and show different aspects of the game. Um, I don't know. Maybe because it's faster than me setting it up, maybe Gabi can um, take the little photo from our channel from Discord and show it. We show you guys the outpost, the place you are going to get to once the place you're supposed to go to when the demo ends in Reedvale. So you get an idea of how that system works and how are
Just a
you going
second,
to be
just a
able.
second, Meles.
Yes,
You can
please.
show that you can show that screenshot. I'll give you another one. Just a sec.
Yeah, yes. To
Show that one.
put it on Discord directly so Gabi can take it from there and uh, broadcast it. Maybe it's faster because I'm having teeny tiny issues with the system myself.
I think this one.
Yeah, that's one of them, and this is inside the outpost. Basically, it will be populated with NPCs, merchants, followers, and stuff like that. And I'll post another one to for Gabi to use. Just a second.
Waiting.
It's like a small city and a small town. It's like a small town that the player is leading and that the player will be able to upgrade uh, during time. So it will get access to more features and better features, maybe, and better upgrades for its characters. Uh, I was just looking on.
Oh, okay, Gabi.
Okay.
Uh, it's loading now. Just a second.
Waiting for
Almost.
it.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
And the next picture, you will see the outpost sort of in the middle, and the rest of the map that you will need to explore.
So basically, this here over here is the outpost.
This is another peek inside, and you get an idea of what we're doing. But we did not put anything. This map is without anything active on it, so it's not gonna be much of a spoiler. Uh, just to get an idea of the scale and consider that there's many dungeons you get to access from this point. So from this map, so it's gonna be a little bit of back and forth and many quests. And now let's, Gabi, if you can return to the other image because I wanted to point out a few things. Um, the system, you're going to be you're going as a player, once you uh, whenever you want to leave the outpost, you're going to be asked for what party you want to bring with you, and you're going to be able to choose any of the followers you choose, two, three, or of from all the followers you have available. And each of these buildings you're going to access them, so there's separate scenes. Each building has its function. You have an inn, and then you have a blacksmith where you access crafting, and then you have the burrow where you put your followers to recover if they're wounded, or if they're low on morale or stuff like that. So all these buildings are functional. They're not just decoration in the outpost. And the plan at the moment, because there's still many things on the paper, is to have these buildings, some of them, to be able to upgrade. That was the small note I wanted to make on the outpost. You're gonna see more in the following weeks as we. But the first thing that goes in development right now, it's going to be crafting. Uh, we are going to experiment a lot with it, and see if actually they are developed to some point, but they need to be updated to our latest version, and see what works, what doesn't, and how we can is going to go into testing. And from there on, we're going to if all goes well, we're going to go to the other systems. But we're gonna keep everyone posted on our Discord server with everything that we're developing.
All right, guys. Last round
Okay.
of questions, if you have. Otherwise,
Other than that, we want to thank you all so much for sticking with us.
thank you,
It's
guys.
Thank you.
almost 3 hours, so it's been
Woo, 3 hours.
Two
it's
hours
been
and
fun for us.
57 minutes.
I said almost 3 hours, but
No, I
Gabriel,
mean it's exact. If we wait 2 minutes, it will be exactly 3 hours.
by the time I'm finished talking, we'll
Yeah,
probably overshoot 3 hours. So no,
You
I'm
have
a
two
talkative guy.
minutes.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for all the questions, and I hope you like what you saw, and I hope you. Sure, many of you knew the demo, but I hope you liked the what you saw about what's coming for Zoria in the following months, and we stick around. We're always every day on the server. We're always here to answer your questions, and we're gonna be starting to show a lot about the game in the following weeks and how it's progressing. So if you like it, stick around, and we'll.
yeah. Don't forget to join the Discord server because
Yes.
we are active. That's all I can say. We are active.
Thank you all so much. Stefan, you have the microphone.
Well, thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Again, if I cannot state this enough, join the Discord because we are there every day, and we will be posting there, especially screenshots. I don't know, quests and stuff like that from Neles and from stuff from Gabi as well. And also a big shout out to the community. Thank you, guys. You are freaking insanely awesome. So yes, this is one is for you. And
And you helped us a lot.
yeah, and we really want to do this again. and we will do this again. Especially as Gabi said, he will show you some new systems. Neles on his side with the Quest, he will show you some of his system, and me as well on the level design and game design part as well. So stick around and hope you enjoy it. And thank you very much.
Thank you as well.
Well, I don't know. I guess we will end here our stream,
I
and
mean,
with
we
this,
passed the 3 hour, so
yeah,
we can end it.
we concluded the Steam Festival Indie Thingy show and tell. Thank you, guys.
Again, we concluded this stream. We're here every day. Any questions? We are here every day. So we're glad having you here on the server.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
guys.